This, this input, if sensor air or kelembaban, and sensor with sun, if any light or not, and this is Bluetooth to see notify to person if one the uh, cloud indoor or outdoor. This until you know and use database online and the motor or dynamo how to increase increase to drag the cloud or out or in, and the LCD in to use where position and what the light or drag or no. And this uh, what its name? Syntax, maybe. I'm sorry. Syntax to give a logarithm if no, if not light or yes or not. In this application to Andriono with Andriono version 1x4. Conclusion, this tool very simple and especially for drying cloth, but using sensor automatic retrieve cloth indoor when rain or light level drop. A user attach a cloth to the line, active the tool with a automatic sensor. If any issue arises during drying, user can control the process manual via smart mode. Additionally, sensor that can be monitored online anywhere, allow comfort oversight. Okay, thank you. I am very sorry. My explain. I am
Okay,
not
never
good
mind.
for explain. If any question or not understand, maybe you can type. I can explain maybe mix with bahasa. Thank you. Assalamualaikum warahmatullahi wabarakatuh.
Waalaikumsalam warahmatullahi wabarakatuh. Thank you
Uh,
your presentation.
Thank you.
Here, I have some question in the audience.
Okay, maybe I will ask the Mr. Aswan, and
Yes.
I have typed my question in the chat.
Okay.
Okay, how you measure your system? Because if you build the IoT system, you may be the test in the real case or with the simulation. There is a test. How you measure your system?
I am very sorry. I'm not difficult to explain. But how to measure if we can see the prototype. My lecturer in my friend and support with mahasiswa or student, the impressor only 20% because the sensor very heavy to see what the light or not. Like compare light lampu and cahaya sometimes so different in rain, what the call ya, percikan dengan itu saya very confused, but I hope this model can we modif or maybe can inspire to like what name uh, how to uh, modifikasi project yang lain. Or only that, Mr. Arda, I'm very sorry to explain, but any question maybe I can apa with bahasa.
Okay. Okay, maybe you can write the result in your presentation to make sure we understand that your system is work.
Yeah, okay.
Yes. Okay, I think enough.
Okay, thank you, Mr. Arda. Thank you, Mr. Lobes. I am very
Okay.
sorry.
Thank you. And next speaker, Mr. Rio Yonatan. Okay, are you ready?
Ready? Thank you, Mr. Lopez. I will show this my presentation. Thank you. My presentation. Okay, you can see my presentation, Mr. Lopez.
Okay.
Yes,
Yes,
Your presentation visible.
yes.
Okay, thank you very much. Okay, we will to start. Okay, Assalamualaikum warahmatullahi wabarakatuh. Thank you very much.
Waalaikumsalam.
Waalaikumsalam.
Waalaikumsalam
Okay.
warahmatullahi wabarakatuh.
Thank you. Okay, today I will also present about the review article, Intelligent System in Tourism Macroeconomics Perspective. I think this macroeconomics in the industrial engineering knowledge. So we want to explain. Okay. The tourism growth and the role of technology, information and communication technology have become fundamental element in the value generation strategy in tourism industry, because in the Internet of Things, technology is so important, and this is in tourism. So this technology currently include a range of technologies relevant to the tourism context, such as recommender system, context-aware system, autonomous agents that search and evaluate web resources and ambitions. And then macroeconomics, which focus on optimize the overall work system, is often overlooked in intelligent system development. Human factors and ergonomics play a critical roles in meaningful harnessing the potential of intelligent system technology. The goal is to design a human effective and efficient work system. So the macroeconomics, I hope, can design the information system to humans effective and efficient work system. This research has the objective to consider intelligent system from a macroeconomic perspective, and it didn't identify gaps in the tourism sectors. And the research question, how macroeconomics principles are applied in intelligent system. Okay. Tourism is a key application area for intelligent system because decision made in tourism are generally complex. We know the tourist destination is so many, so the tourism and are generally complex to choose between destination and other destination. This complexity is caused by factors such as the mobility of tourists, increased risk and uncertainty in an unknown environment, information contained in distributed resources, and then the unique nature of decision making in tourism, the interdependence of tourism experience and partial decision. And then, what is macroeconomics? One of the economic sciences is macroeconomics. Macroeconomics is related to concept to optimize work system through consideration of personnel integrated with the organization, environment, and technology. The macroeconomic approach is related to socio-technical system applied to the design work system by designing human to work, human to machine, and the human to software interface. So this is the position of macroeconomics. Macroeconomics in intelligent system development. The development of intelligent system technology continues to advance to fully utilize its potential. It is important to address the topic of human factor economic to ensure. Okay. And then we use the literatur tadi by anal report related to intelligent system and okay.
Hello.
results and discussion of intelligence system in the tourism. Okay, yes.
I'm sorry, this
Okay.
my line or hello? Hello?
Hello.
Maybe you
hello.
have a bad connection, Mr. Dio.
Oh, okay. I'm sorry. This is normal.
Okay.
Is still normal?
Okay.
Okay.
No,
Normal
normal.
connection.
Okay. Thank you. Okay. In the intelligence system in the tourist industry, we a study reveal various application of intelligence system in operational efficiency, customer experience, and the promote sustainability. Intelligence system not only help predict future business condition and revenue, but also identify and potential tourism demand trends. Okay, forecasting technique using large scale manage in tourism destination. See, intelligent system technology enable company to manage day-to-day operation in the etc. This ultimately result in lower cost, increased productivity, and improve operational performance. And enhance the travel experience. We use I interest in the use of virtual reality can exchange the traveler experience by creating a simulated environment around them. Some hotels are implementing hotel surrounding and the facilities visually. Okay. And in sustainability, integrated smart system into the tourism sector contributes to sustainable practice and environmental protection. Big data is used in ecotourism to understand visitor patterns, attraction, and impact on the natural resources. So the intelligence system can measure the sustainability in tourist destination. And then how to harmonization of humans and intelligence system. Advanced in the intelligence system need to be guided by more human-centered principles that are easily understood by all stakeholders. Intelligence system can augment human function and replace repetitive or dangerous tasks, allowing human to focus more on enhancing qualities such as creativity, connected altruism, and emotional intelligence. So this is the intelligence system can change process of human, and human can focus to improve the creativity, connection, and emotion intelligence. In the managing intelligence system with macroeconomics, big data companies such as social media platform are notorious for their ability to influence human behavior, which has led to scandals and data breach. Okay. The future of Life Institute calls for the urgent development of common security protocols and robust control system for intelligence system. Ergonomic concepts should be considered throughout intelligence system development programs. All ergonomics concepts are relevant to the design, implementation, and operation of intelligence system, and are an indication that ergonomic experts should be involved in intelligence system development program. The suggests concept, methods, and application can support the design of safe, ethical, and usable intelligence system. So is macroeconomic is so important. Okay, big data. Oh, I'm sorry. Next. Okay. The managing intelligence system with a macroeconomic perspective. In macroeconomic principle in intelligence system, intuitive and easy to understand interface design and appropriate allocation of tasks between human and machines a work environment that supports human-machine interaction, consideration of social and organization factor. A series of activity required are collaboration with intelligent system developer, embedding ergonomic throughout the intelligent system lifecycle, and disseminating ergonomic research and result in scientific field related in intelligent system. Okay. Rather than optimizing decision making, the use of intelligent system can introduce significant bias compared to decision made by humans, resulting in the decision that do not produce satisfactory tourism experiences or management outcomes. Intelligent system raise concerns about potential risks. This article presents the potential risk of intelligent system and the role that ergonomics should play in ensuring their safe, ethical, and user-friendly implementation. In conclusion, the concept of macroeconomic should be considered from the design phase of development, implementation, and operation of intelligent system involving ergonomic expert. Ergonomics as a discipline responsible for optimizing human health and well-being has a critical role in the design of safe, ethical, and usable AI. Okay, thank you. This is my presentation. Thank you, Mr. Robes.
Thank you your presentation and decision of question and answer. Any question?
Okay, may I
Mr. Arda?
ask to the Mr. Trio Yonatan? Okay,
Yes.
good presentation. And I want to ask you, when you explain your PowerPoint slide, there is no reference that you write on your slide because this is a review article. What the paper that most you have a big impact on this topic?
Okay. Thank you, Mr. Arda. Yes, I'm sorry. I don't give my article. I'm sorry. We have limitation in time. 10 minutes. I'm sorry. And then but in the article, yes, we have give all article we use in there. And then I use the article about macroeconomic perspective and consider intelligent system. There is many research about the intelligent system, how to make intelligent system, how to use intelligent system in the all department, but so little to explain about humanity in the intelligent system. This is so interest for me. So in the start, in the first in my research, we will to see how macroeconomic principle applied in intelligent system. Yes, Mr. Adrian.
Okay, thank you for your answer.
Okay, thank you so much.
Next session, Mr. Arda.
Yes. Okay.
Okay, this I'm stop here. Okay, thank you.
Are my screen visible?
Yes.
Okay. Assalamualaikum warahmatullahi wabarakatuh.
Waalaikumsalam.
Waalaikumsalam.
Good afternoon, everyone. In this time, I will present my paper that have title Large Language and Vision Models to Assist Drone Forensic Analysis. And the author is me, Arda Suratitya, and my promoter, Prof. Hari Ahmad, and co-promoter, Dan Studiawan. We are from Institute Technology 10 November. Okay, introduction. Advanced technology such as IoT or Internet of Things, drones, and robotic is revolutioning various industries. Drone in particular play a vital role in tasks like mapping and monitoring hazardous areas. When drone accidents occur whether due to collision, attack, or malfunctions, drone forensic investigate their root cause by analyzing antemortem, live, and post-mortem data. Large language model or LLMs like ChatGPT, Gemini, and Lava are now emerging as powerful tools to enhance forensic analysis as they provide detailed explanation, detect hidden objects, and interpret complex accident environment. Using LLM, allowing forensic analysts to gain a comprehensive understanding of pattern and context, ultimately reducing human error and enriching forensic insight. Okay, the contribution of this research is the first one is this research focus on implementation of LLMs to do forensic analysis, especially in drone forensic. We offer an evaluation of various LLMs in drone forensic analysis. This research recommends the best LLM in drone forensic analysis and an explanation of each LLM methods. Okay, here is my proposed methods. Okay, the first one is the data set. The proposed method start with the data set preparation. I use the data set from the Colanet dataset, which includes videos of drone collisions. The videos are pre-processed and converted into frames, with a single frame selected per video based on human observation as representative sample. The selected frame is described manually to create ground truth data. Multimodal LLMs like ChatGPT-4, Google Gemini, and Lava are then used to analyze and describe the chosen frame, as this model can process both image and text. To evaluate the performance of LLMs, their output are compared to the ground truth data using Blue score. This approach aims to improve forensic investigations by enabling effective analysis of drone accident in flight. Here is the dataset video that I download and use in this research. It is from Colanet. Okay. To pre-process the video to the image, we use the algorithm one, like this one. The data for this experiment in the Colanet have the 100 videos of drone accidents. For our analysis with LLMs, we selected only one frame from each video to identify a frame that clearly captured the accident. We use a code to label the frame as detailed in algorithm 1. Okay, here is the result and analysis. Here is the result when we use the three models of LLMs. We use Lava, Google Gemini, and ChatGPT-4. And you can read in my presentation or in my paper, there is the different results when you give the same image and the same prompt. Here is the table that conclude the research. The Google Gemini demonstrates strength in generating concise responses, reflected in its high brevity scores, making it well suited for forensic analysis. Where clarity and efficiency are crucial, this brevity allows Gemini to provide precise, focused information, which is beneficial for forensic reporting. However, Gemini has a limitation in drone forensic analysis, particularly with accurately identifying human faces in frame, likely due to insufficient training on forensic image or challenges with small face size in wide-angle shots, an important factor in forensic accuracy. While Gemini excels in Playu and Brevity scores, ChatGPT surpasses it in precision, consistently providing highly accurate and relevant information essential for detailed forensic analysis. ChatGPT's higher precision enhance its utility in identifying specific details of drone accident, making it valuable complement to Gemini's overall performance in forensic investigation. For the conclusion is the use of LLM such as ChatGPT, Google Gemini, and Lava in drone forensic analysis offer significant improvement, particularly in analyzing drone frame image data. This model automates the identification of pattern and detection of accident with high precision, reducing the time required for manual inspection. Experimental results show that Google Gemini achieved the highest average play score in 0.76, indicating that LLMs can effectively support investigators in determining the cause of the drone accident. The future advancement in using LLMs for drone forensic should focus on enhancing model training with diverse datasets, enabling real-time image processing, and integrating LLMs with other forensic tools, improving the explainability and transparency of LLM output is also essential to gain trust among forensic experts, while addressing privacy and data security concerns. Additional efforts, such as developing multimodal data, fusion techniques, creating user training program, and establishing performance benchmark, will be key increasing and effectiveness and adoption of LLMs in forensic investigation. Thank you
Thank you your
for
presentation, Mr. Arda.
audience. Yes.
The Adrian is any answer? Okay, I have a question for you. Could you
Yes,
tell me
sir.
what the focus in this paper is?
Okay. The focus is I'll try to implement the LLM such as ChatGPT or Google Gemini to find out the root cause why the drone have an accident. When we operate the drone, we have to maybe collide with wall, with building, or maybe attacked by bird, and etc. And uh, some some drone pilots want to know why the drone have an accident. And with this method, the LLM can help the pilot to search what the cause the drone have an accident. Like that, sir.
Yeah. Okay. Thank you very much for presentation.
Yes.
And I am the presentation. Okay. Please to share. Okay. That's simple. Okay. You can see about my slide.
Yes, sir.
Yes, sir.
Okay. Okay. Thank you. And let's continue the information. My paper talk about energy efficiency and sustainable economic. Oh, okay. Hmm. Okay. Uh, the subject is my share is energy efficiency and sustainable economic. High of high voltage pulse generator in first electric field for honey pasteurization. And my name is Lobes Herdiman and Ilham Praditama and Iza Yoga Baskara from Industrial Engineering, University 11 Maret Surakarta, Indonesia. My introduction about the honey is natural biology product with the unique combination and component that greatly benefit human. The China is the world honey producing country with a total production of over 460 tons per year, followed by Turkey producing over 115 tons per year. Honey production in Indonesia reaches 7.5 tons in 2022. Historical data, Indonesia should be able to enter the top 3 honey producer in the world. This result is the low market interest in local honey, which if explored to further, is one of the reasons for this quality. The SNI play a crucial role in maintaining the quality of honey by setting limits such as the water content of honey at 22%, laws, sanitation, the houses and honey processing equipment can potentially cause bacterial and fungal contamination, reducing the quality of honey. SNI has set the limit for years and more contamination at least than 1.10 to the power of 1, while the Food and Agriculture Organization standard limits it to a maximum of 20%. These limits are still difficult to fulfill by honey by cultivation and small and medium interface. The water content in honey significantly impact the quality of honey because it can accelerate the fermentation process by microorganisms. Pasteurization or evaporation, it over 71 degrees Celsius can decrease honey nutritional value. The thermal reaction in food or drink pose several dangers, include the loss of essential nutrients, discoloration, and change in smell and taste. In contrast, the non-thermal approach subjected to the food item to microbial inactivation without or with little direct heat treatment. Some non-thermal pasteurization system like first electric field (PEF) might not require large expenditures. PEF is a non-thermal technology extensively used in food and beverage processing that employ is a high voltage direct current pulse generator supply by a pair of electrodes at a predetermined spacing. The playback transformer is ideal for the low-cost power supply design due to its simplicity and intake efficiency. A protection filter or voltage doubling rectifier circuit can transform a switching power supply into a more precise and dependable circuit. The efficiency of playback switching power supply would exceed 18% if the parameter can be calculated properly. Implementing PAF technology in Honey SMEs is deemed worthy of review as an effort to create a sustainable economy. Operation and capital costs are the sustainable economic indicator. How information systematic cost feasibility analysis studies of PAF technology investment is still limited. Several studies reported that implementing PAF costs around $0.6 US to $1.01 US, or the equivalent of 9,000 EDR to 16 EDR per liter. No specific study compare the cost of implementing PAF with conversion thermal pasteurization. And then the study aimed to achieve economic sustainability and energy efficiency by incorporating PAF technology into the pasteurization process of Kapuk honey using a high voltage pulse generator to manage treatment duration, particular input energy need, and change in honey content when pulse variation occurs. And then method and material start from participatory approach. Stakeholder input the design honey pasteurization machine, lectures, reviews, like researcher, manufacturer, and honey bee SMEs. And then identification of design requirement. The evaluation of design honey machine pasteurization by interviewing user and two previous researcher and two manufacturers. And then technical and efficiency. Technical requirement about machine. Technical requirement are made after grouping the design requirement according to criteria. Technical requirement refer to fulfill the provision in the criteria method processes engineering to meet the standard and need to user. And high voltage generation design, this voltage current is dispersed to the step down converter device so that it has a voltage input of 0 to 15 volt DC. And result in discussion. Honey pasteurization equipment testing. The testing was done by varying the processing time and two stages, 120 and 180 minutes. The playback driver input procedures voltage of 4.5 volts DC, which can produce an output voltage 60 volts from fixed to fixed. Calculating energy use, the specific input energy requirement for PAF honey pasteurization range from 3 to 0.16 to 117.450 kilojoule per centimeter cubic. And then the percentage of PF energy efficiency in the honey pasteurization from a range from 86.67 to 86.83%. The most significant efficiency voltage was at the 30 kilovolt voltage treatment of 6.83%. The greater the voltage, distorts the electric field. Testing honey content for treatment time of 120 and 180 minutes. Pasteurization honey is tested at the UPT laboratory and UNS. This PF and the time of pasteurization process effect reducing yields and mold, so that efficiency machine get good yield and mold test by SNI standard. So the honey produce also has good contents. Relationship to specific energy input to operation cost. The operation cost using PF technology for 3 hours if the magnetic field intensity with 35 kilovolt per centimeter is 47.15 EDR, and the motor power with 0.5 HP is 1.62 EDR. The engine converter power with 0.4 kilowatt is 1.750 EDR, and total operation costs are 53.488 ADR. PF technology performance increase energy efficiency, contributing in energy efficiency and sustainable economy. And then the honey pasteurization machine is designed with a capacity of 60 liters and process of 3-5 hours, supported by PAF technology with low energy consumption and low operational cost for 1 month. This enables sustainable economic for honey SMEs. Thank you. Any question about my paper?
Okay, maybe I want to ask you, Mr. Lopez.
Okay.
Okay,
Mr.
your research is using the electric field to optimize pasteurization in honey. Is that right?
Yes.
Okay. Are there any the basic research that tell us about the electricity field take an effect on honey?
Okay. Thank you,
Yeah.
Mr. Arda, your question.
Yes.
Electricity field for honey may be reducing about yield and mold in honey, and make to masa simpan ya, make to masa simpan lebih lama, and nutrisi is greater than not PAF than PAF treatment, and cost to machine is very low, yeah, and advantage to product is okay to market. suitable with the SNI standard Indonesia. Thank you.
Okay, thank you.
Thank you, Mr. Arda. And then to next next session, Mr. Adi Kusmantoro. Are you ready, Mr. Adi? Just relax. So,
Assalamualaikum warahmatullahi wabarakatuh.
Waalaikumsalam.
Waalaikumsalam warahmatullahi wabarakatuh.
My name is Reza Maulidin. Sorry, before I was only asked to represent Mr. Adi because Mr. Adi was under control at the hospital.
Oke.
Okay. Here I will play the presentation video that has been made Mr. Adi. Let me introduce myself. My name is Adi Kusmantoro. I am from Universitas Negeri Semarang. I will present with the title Centralized Control of Multi-Energy for Enhanced Power in Unlimited Microgrid. And then introduction. Electricity costs increase every year along with the increase in population. However, utility networks that use fossil sources have not been able to serve the increasing electricity load. The demand for easy power loads is currently rising. This is brought on by the rising electrical demand, which call for an easy power supply. Distributed energy resources that include energy storage and renewable energy sources are often used in microgrid to generate electricity. Microgrid systems are an effective way to integrate renewable energy sources into the electricity distribution system and are respond to the increasing demand for electricity. DC sources derived from renewable energy have different characteristics. The DC sources are now starting to be used for commercial, industrial, and residential needs. Therefore, control strategy is needed to overcome change in the DC sources. This figure shows one of the microgrid configuration. The microgrid consists of PV, utility grid, and battery storage. The sources in the microgrid are used to set the load rate. Coordinated control in the microgrid is used to regulate the flow of energy from the sources and the load. Microgrid has several parallel connected energy sources installed in rural areas, which can be seen in figure. All energy sources are connected to DC bus, each of which is connected to a line impedance. All of these energy sources function to supply the load without interruption. Apart from that, the total current supplied to serve the load is divided into the sum as that stored in the battery. And then proper system. To serve a residential optimally, a centralized control scheme with 3 PPRS is proposed, and the generation in the microgrid system is designed as a bus, which can be seen in figure. System performance was tested on change in energy generation and residential loads. The microgrids and the development is source in microgrid system and tabel two-source inverter system. The microgrid plan for housing use an inverter to convert DC voltage from renewable energy sources into AC voltage according to the load use. Meanwhile, the study location is located di Tambak Village Puja, Tegal, Regency, Indonesia. This area has potential for solar irradiation of 4,955 kilowatt per square meter per day. Apart from that, according to the study, 20 kilowatt peak array will produce 76 kilowatt hour per day of electrical energy, and 15 kilowatt peak array will produce 57 kilowatt hour per day of electrical energy. Figure 1 shows the average output PV array 1 and PV array 2 for 6 months from January to June 2024. Each one PV produces different electrical energy each month. The largest energy output occurred in May and June, amounting to 3.9 megawatt hour. Figure 2 shows when centralized control regulates the PV array 1, DG1, power flow in supplying residential load. Within 0.3 seconds to 0.5 seconds, there is a change in load, but DG1 is able to supply the load for up to 1 second. In this first operation, DG1 is able to supply the load even though there is a decrease in power. Next, centralized control carries out the second operation. PV array 2, DG2 supplies the load power shown in figure 3. The power produced by DG2 is greater than the load. So that in the second operation, the load is supplied for up to 1 second. However, when there is a change in DG2 power output, this condition affects the load power consumption at 0.5 seconds.
No, copying it.
In this third operation, centralized control regulates the biogas and DG output as DG3, which is shown in figure 4. The third power source provides stable power output even when the load changes from 0.2 seconds to 0.6 seconds. The third operation provides stable power in the microgrid system. And the conclusion, number 1, the increasing need for electrical power for residential in rural areas can be increased with centralized control in a microgrid system. The system integrates several renewable energy sources to serve load needs. The study results shows that by using centralized control, the microgrid system is able to regulate power flow according to residential load requirements. By regulating the power flow of each electricity source, the load demand can be met. And number 2, the study can be developed with other control method to achieve microgrid power stability, so that load service is not interrupted. Okay, thank you.
Okay, thank you, Mr. Reza Mahmudin. Oh, no.
That's all I can
Adi
say.
Kusmantoro, ya. Okay.
Yes, sir.
Any question, Mr. Arda? About this paper? About
Okay,
microgrid?
because there is some video, maybe I cannot hear clearly. Then maybe maybe someone have a question.
Okay, could you tell me what the focus in this paper is, Mr. Kusmantoro?
Uh, sorry, sir. I can answer your question because I only represent this Zoom meeting. I'm sorry, sir.
Okay. Okay, it's very interesting about your paper, but no, uh, yeah, little this information about this. Okay, so and finally, Mr. Joko Haryono and Satya Tongchai, Rindu Widya Laksana, and etc. Okay, uh, what is presentation? Someone representing about this paper? Okay.
Maybe not attend,
Oh
sir.
no, maybe not attend. Okay. As the finally discussion. Thank you for your attention and participation. We have come to the end of our seminar. I hope you enjoy this session and gain valuable insight and knowledge from from our speakers. Finally, I would like to thank you all for joining us today. I hope you have learned something new and valuable from this seminar. Thank you very much and have a great day. Thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you,
Thank you,
everyone.
Mr.
And
Thank
Adam.
you,
terima
sir.
kasih.
Okay.
Can we leave this Zoom, or
Okay.
maybe there is some?
Okay.
I am sorry, my camera uh, cannot use.
Okay.
Okay.
Never mind. Okay.
Okay.
Can we leave, sir, or there is some ceremony again, or oh sudah keluar. Okay, thank you
Okay,
everyone.
thank you.
Sepertinya kita bisa keluar juga ya, sepertinya.
Iya kayaknya, iya orangnya udah
Baik.
keluar.
Ini
Ini
Mas Arda ini
adminnya
sengaja
ini
kameranya
absen
dimatiin ya?
dong.
Gimana?
Ini kameranya dimatiin sengaja ya?
Kamera apa, Pak?
Kameranya saya nggak bisa dibuka ini, emang sengaja ya?
Ya udah, saya live ya.
Oke deh kalau gitu. Kameranya saya nggak bisa
Terima
dibuka.
kasih.
Baiklah, makasih Mas Arda, Mas
Oke,
Trio,
Iya,
mari.
ya semuanya. Mari.
Oke, sami-sami Pak. Salam kenal
Assalamualaikum.
ya.
Saya live
Waalaikumsalam.
ya, izin live.